I solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if I am found to be lying, I accept prosecution under the full extent of the sports law. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 8 of Sports in Order. I'm the attorney at sports, and this is my courtroom. And remember, the usual. Just do me a favor, please. Go ahead and subscribe to the World of Sports Network YouTube channel. You get all the notifications. You get the notifications every time Sports in Order drops. I'm telling you guys, you're going to want those notifications once August and September get here. Once football season gets here. You guys are struggling to create your lineup and, figure out who to put in your lineup and who to pick up, who to drop, especially in fantasy baseball as well. You want to know what's going on with Sports in Order. That's why you got to subscribe to the World of Sports Network YouTube channel. Appreciate it. Love you guys. Love every single one of you. Let's keep it going. Today on episode 8 of Sports in Order, I'm going to tell you my top 10 defenses in fantasy football. Remember, don't pick a defense in the first round. Don't be that knucklehead. Then I'm going to give you 5 value picks, otherwise known as bargain picks. Players you can get in the 8th round or the 9th round, but it'll give you great numbers and can actually help you win your league. And then I bring LeBron James into the interrogation room. I grill him and I tell him, listen, LeBron, you got to do what's best for you now. Stop trying to satisfy everybody else. And then last but not least, what's the case on the base? Why players to add in fantasy baseball. With that being said, you know the drill. We don't got no time to waste. Let's get right to it. My top 10 defenses in fantasy football. Again, don't be that knucklehead that picks a defense in the first round. Defenses are nice to have, no doubt about it. But majority of the time, a defense is not going to win you your league. You might win a matchup here and there because of your defense, because they get 3 or 4 interceptions or 4 or 5 sacks. But for the most part, you're gonna pick defenses based off matchups, based off week to week matchups. For example, me, that's how I play. In fantasy football, that's how I pick. That's how I pick up defenses. That's how I play defenses. I might not even draft a defense in my draft, but each week I'll look at the waiver wire, and I'll see which defenses are on the waiver wire and which defense has the best matchup. Also, which defense is not playing anybody that I have on my roster. For example, if I pick up the Vikings defense and they're going against the Packers, but my quarterback is Aaron Rodgers, I don't want the Vikings defense because every time Aaron Rodgers scores, I'm going to get points for Aaron Rodgers, but I'm also going to lose points for the Vikings defense. So with that being said, that's how you want to play. That's how you want to pick up defenses. Look at who they're playing against, obviously, but don't pick up a defense that's playing against players that you have on your fantasy roster. Again, just play fantasy defenses on a week-to-week basis. Hence, why you shouldn't draft them. But I still got to tell you my top 10. Pay attention. Let's get right to it. Number 1, the Jaguars. The Jaguars, they're loaded with talent, man. They had a league-high 8 touchdowns last year. And they didn't finish any lower than 4th in interceptions, forced fumbles, sacks, yards allowed, and points allowed. All of the top players on that defense are coming back this year, which I think makes them a candidate to even have a better year than they had last year. Plus, Miles Jack, in my opinion, is moving to his more natural position, which is middle linebacker. Paul Posluszny retired, so now Miles Jack gets to play middle linebacker, gets to be on the field all 3 downs. He's a playmaker, man. Look for the Jacksonville Jaguars to finish as the top-ranked defense again this season. Number 2, the Minnesota Vikings. They allowed league lows last year, in points and yards. The defense is still there, still remains the same. All the top studs are coming back, but they added Sheldon Richardson to an already dominant D-line to go along with that secondary led by Xavier Rhodes and Harrison Smith. This Vikings defense will be right up there again at the top of the list. I would like to see them get more turnovers. They were towards the bottom in turnovers last year because they're not really an aggressive defense. It's weird for a Mike Zimmer led defense. They're not really aggressive, but they do get after the quarterback. They do they're stingy on the outside. But again, I like to see them to be more aggressive, which will result in more turnovers and more touchdowns. 3, the Rams. Oh man, the Rams added so much talent on defense. They added Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters. They added Ndamukong Suh to go along with Aaron Donald. First, how are you running on this defense? And how are you throwing on this defense? You're not doing either one of them. It's going to be impossible, man. I'm telling you. Last year, they were 4th in fantasy points. 4th in fantasy points without Sue, without Peters, without Talib. You add those 3 players to go along with Aaron Donald, to go along with LaMarcus Joyner, plus Wade Phillips in his second year overseeing this defense. Yeah, I think they could finish a little bit better than 4th this season in fantasy. We're talking about a possible top 2 defense if the chemistry fits and everything goes to plan. 4, Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, it pains me to say, as you could tell. It pains me to say, but this Philly defense, man, no doubt about it, they're legit. Last year they were 3rd in fantasy points. 3rd, they had 3 top 6 finishes last season. And over the last 4 seasons, they've been in the top 6 4 times. So throughout the last 4 seasons, the Eagles defense has finished in the top 6 4 times. Pretty consistent. It's a consistent, solid defense. But now, this year, it's going to be better. Adding Michael Bennett to that D-line. That D-line was already a problem with Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham and last year's first-round pick, Derek Barnett. Goodness gracious, man. Last year, they led the league. This is what I like about the Eagles defense. They are aggressive. Unlike the Vikings defense, this Eagles defense is aggressive. They led the league in block kicks last season. And top 5 in interceptions, tackles for loss, yards allowed, points allowed, and touchdowns. That's really what you want. That's what'll make a fantasy defense, a matchup winner. The ability to score touchdowns. Yeah, the sacks are cool, the interceptions are cool, but a fumble return for a touchdown, or a pick 6, or a blocked punt for a touchdown, yeah, that's where you're like, yo, that's the defense that's going to win me my league, winning my matchup. Again, the interceptions and sacks are cool because they get you points, but to be a difference maker as a defense, you got to get the touchdowns, and that's what the Eagles do. Nah, for big plays. Yeah, again, with the touchdowns. In the past 4 seasons, the Eagles have ranked in the top 4 in touchdowns. The Eagles defense. Past 4 seasons, Eagles defense ranked in the top 4 in touchdowns. Hey, take a look at the Eagles defense because they could be the one that wins you your matchup. 5, the Chargers. Last year, the Chargers only allowed 272 points. 3rd best in the league. They were 6th in interceptions and touchdowns. 5th in sacks and fantasy points. Now, Jason Verrett, their stud cornerback, he's healthy. They need him on the back end, patrolling the back end, to go along with Derwin James and Casey Hayward. And then Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram rushing the passer. That makes the secondary look better, obviously, when you have 2 studs rushing the passer and making the quarterback release the ball quicker than he wants to. But without Jason Verrett last year, this Chargers defense was still great. Like I said, 3rd in the league in points, 6th in interceptions and touchdowns, 5th in sacks and fantasy points. The defense can only go up. The defense can only get better for the Chargers. This year, they're looking for their 3rd straight top 10 finish. But, again, if everything goes to plan, I think the Chargers defense could potentially finish in the top 5. 6th, the Texans. It's all about health with this team, man. Texans defense, all about health. J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless, they're back. They're coming back. And those 2 guys, the Texans defense needs them to be productive. Last year, through week 4, the Texans defense was ranked 4th in the NFL. Then J.J. Watt gets hurt. Then Whitney Merciless gets hurt. Texans defense ends up finishing 26th. But Watt and Merciless coming back, again, like I just mentioned, through week 4, they were ranked 4th in the NFL. Now you add Tyrann Mathieu as well, the Honey Badger, to that defense. And they added Aaron Colvin, the slot cornerback from Jacksonville. Texans defense has all the makings of an elite defense. But again, with them, comes down to health. J.J. Watt, hopefully he can get back to being the J.J. Watt of old. Him alone will make this defense a scary defense. 7th, the Ravens. The Ravens only trailed Jacksonville last year in fantasy points and top 10 fantasy weeks. But they did lead the NFL in interceptions for the 2nd straight year. That's what this Ravens D does, man. They're fast, they're athletic, they're ball hawks. Now, again, like I said, led the NFL in interceptions, but the interceptions returned for touchdowns weren't really there for the Ravens. So for this Ravens D to get back to being a top 3 defense, they got to continue getting the interceptions, but they got to take some of them interceptions back to the house. They got to up the sacks, and they got to get some more forced fumbles. They finished in the last 4 seasons 3 of those seasons, they finished 7th or better as a fantasy defense. So this fantasy defense, what the Ravens fantasy defense, while it might not be elite, finishing in the top 7, 3 of the last 4 seasons, that's pretty solid. That's a pretty good achievement. So again, not an elite defense, but this Ravens defense, you know what you're getting. You know what you're drafting. If you do draft them or you do pick them up, you know what you're getting from them. They're just a solid defense with the tendency to get a lot of interceptions. 8th, Denver. Now, the Denver Broncos, man, they're not the defense that they were when they won the Super Bowl. They lost Lakeith Talib, but they did draft Bradley Chubb to form a fearsome pass rushing duo with Von Miller. That should equal a lot of sacks. They still have Chris Harris, the stud cornerback. He's patrolling the back end. He's shutting down number 1 receivers. Are they going to be a dominant defense? No, I think the days of the Denver Broncos being a dominant defense, I think those days are over. But again, similar to the Ravens, this Denver Broncos D could be very, very solid for you. They can be very beneficial for you. But if you're expecting the Broncos defense of 2015, to just be sacking quarterbacks left and right, having a lot of pick sixes, stopping the run, that's not this Broncos D. But again, this Broncos D will be solid and should finish as a top 10 fantasy defense. Number 9, Carolina, the Carolina Panthers. They finished 12th last season. Second year in a row, they finished 12th. That's not that great. Top 12 defense, 12th ranked defense. It's okay. It's solid. But 4 of the last 5 seasons, they finished in the top 12. So the last 5 seasons, 4 of them, they finished in the top 12. So again, this Carolina defense has been pretty consistent. A pretty consistent defense. Never been a great defense. Never been an elite defense, but always just been, top 12 defense. This Panthers defense, you're always like, oh, I just need a little more from them. I need some more interceptions. I need some more sacks. Because again, they're not flashy. That's a perfect way to describe the Panthers defense. Not flashy, but they get the job done. They did rank 3rd last year in sacks. Luke Kuechly and Thomas Davis and Kawan Short, they make this defense tough to run on. Again, 3rd in sacks last year. Not easy to run against, but the problem with the Panthers defense is the secondary. They don't have a true bona fide corner. They don't have a true center fielder at the safety position. So it's easy once you figure out you're not running against this team, it's easy to pass against them because again, the secondary is what lets them down. If they can get some more interceptions to go along with their sacks and their run stuffing abilities, this Panthers defense could take a step forward. And last but not least, the New Orleans Saints. Marshawn Lattimore, yeah, he's special. No question. What a rookie year he had. And then Cam Jordan, he's great as well. Saints finished in the past 4 seasons, they finished 30th or worse as a fantasy defense. That's last, if you don't know. That's like second to last. 32 teams. Yeah, second to last. They finished either second to last or last 4 times in the last 4 seasons. Last season, they finished 10th. I think it has a lot to do with the stud they drafted, Marshawn Lattimore. No question about it. They drafted a pass rusher, Marcus Davenport, to go along with Cam Jordan and to go along with the stud secondary. Yeah, this Saints defense is going to be getting better. No question about it. Last year, they led the league in 99 passes defensed, which means 99 passes knocked down, whether it be at the line of scrimmage or whether it be in the secondary. And they were 3rd in interceptions and forced fumbles. Yeah, defense is still young. This Saints defense, no doubt about it. This Saints team is still led by the offense and Drew Brees, but this Saints defense, they're ready to get their respect. It's going to happen in 2018. All right. Now I'm going to give you 5 value picks, which means, players that you're not going to draft them usually in the first. You're not going to draft them in the first 4 rounds. You might not even draft them in the first 6 or 7 rounds, but come the 8th round, 9th round, you're going to draft this player and he's going to give you numbers and put up numbers that you're like, yo, I should have picked this kid in the 2nd round. I should have picked this kid in the 3rd round. That's why I say they're a value pick or you can call them a bargain pick. Either way, get these players, but wait to get these players because you're going to get other great players before these players, but when you get this player, you're still going to get great value. Number 1, Golden Tate. This kid, Golden Tate, man, he's a PPR maestro, points per reception maestro. 4 straight seasons of 90-plus receptions. Wow, Golden Tate in 4 straight years has had at least 90 catches. That's an accomplishment, no question about it. But he's never scored more than 6 touchdowns in a season. Hence, why you can get Golden Tate in the 6th round. Because, again, yes, in the PPR league, the catches are amazing. You love to have the catches. But he's going to give you, like I said, the most he's ever had in a season is 6 touchdowns. So on average, he scores about, it's like 90 plus receptions and 4 touchdowns. So the ceiling is very, very low for Golden Tate. He's not going to win you any games. He's not going to win you any leagues. He's going to be awesome to have on your team. He's going to help you win your league and help you win games, but he's not going to be the guy, I got to get this guy in the 1st or 2nd round because without him, I won't win. No. Golden Tate is just another great piece to add to your team because of his catches. 90 plus receptions in 4 straight years. Come on now. I'll take that on my team any day of the week. But don't expect Golden Tate to score 10 touchdowns or 12 touchdowns because it's just not going to happen. 12, Jay Ajayi. He's a top 15 running back. Talent-wise, no doubt about it. Jay Ajayi is a good running back. Very good running back. And you can get him probably in the 4th or 5th round. He's going to be the bell cow for the Eagles. He's taken over that LeGarrette Blount spot, which is the bell cow running back for Philadelphia. He's playing for an elite offense. The Eagles' offense is going to be elite again. So he's going to get his touches. He's going to get his opportunities to be the guy for that Philly offense. I could definitely see him having 10 touchdowns this season. Around 10 touchdowns plus the catches. That's great. 10 touchdowns, 30 or so catches. You can't ask for much more from your running back. Let me tell you his stats from last year, though, once he came over to Philly. He averaged 5.83 yards per carry. He had over 70 carries. So over 70 carries. It was actually, I believe, it was exactly 70 carries. So 70 carries, he averaged 5.83 yards per carry. Pretty good numbers. He had 500 scrimmage yards. Remember, though, he came over at midseason. He was trying to learn the playbook on the fly. The Eagles, were in the middle of a Super Bowl run. Carson Wentz was in the middle of an MVP type of year, so he didn't really have time to preach patience with Jay Ajayi. He just came over and you got what you got from him, and it was pretty good. Like I said, 500 yards from scrimmage, 5.3 yards per carry. Now he's getting a full season in that Eagles playbook and a full season as the Eagles starter and bell cow running back. Yeah, I can see him finishing as I see top 7 running back upside, which you can get in the 6th round. That's the definition of a bargain pick or a value pick right there with Jay Ajayi. Number 3, Juju Smith-Schuster. Last year, from weeks 8 through week 17, he averaged 19.1 points per game in PPR. 5th best among wide receivers. Now Martavis Bryant is gone, out of the picture. He's in Oakland, somewhere in Oakland. Juju becomes this number 2 wide receiver in a high-octane offense. He was on fire to close out the season last year. Like I said, from weeks 8 through 17, this is what he averaged per game. 8 targets per game, 98 yards per game, and 5 touchdowns. Over a 16-game season, these numbers would average out to 1,568 yards and 10 touchdowns. That type of upside in the 5th or 6th round, you gotta get Juju Smith-Schuster, man. You gotta. Again, he's the number 2 receiver in a high-octane elite offense. Big Ben is going to target the hell out of him. Big Ben targeted the hell out of Martavis Bryant. Martavis Bryant's gone. Look what Juju Smith-Schuster did from weeks 8 through 17 last year. Once he became entrenched in that Steelers offense. Now he's the number 2 guy. I'm telling you, man, upside's through the roof for Juju Smith-Schuster. No question about it. Number 4, Paul Richardson from the Redskins. Last year, he was the 39th wide receiver in PPR as the 3rd fiddle behind Doug Baldwin and Jimmy Graham. Now in Washington, there's over 100 targets up for grabs. They lost Terrell Pryor, a couple other guys they lost. So it's Paul Richardson's turn to be the guy for Alex Smith in Washington. Yes, Jamison Crowder's still there. Hopefully Jordan Reed can come back. Josh Doctson is there as well, but he's more of a throw it up guy. And Alex Smith, his MO is not to throw the ball up and let his receiver do the job. His MO is get the ball to his quick, speedy receivers and let them make something happen. That's Paul Richardson. I think I don't want to put too much pressure on Paul Richardson, but I could definitely see 1,000 yards receiving and around 6 touchdowns because again, he fits better with you would look at the Redskins offense and be like, Crowder's the number one or Doxson's the number one. I wouldn't argue with you, but Crowder's more of a slot receiver and Doxson's more of the outside guy. Like I said, the outside guy that goes deep and you just throw it up to him. Doxson's not going to be the consistent every week target for Alex Smith that Paul Richardson is. That's why I say Paul Richardson eventually, I think, is going to become the number one receiver for the Redskins, and Alex Smith is going to put up the numbers that say I'm the number one guy here. Hence, you could probably get Paul Richardson in the 9th or 10th round, but he could give you, top 10 wide receiver numbers if everything falls into place. And number 5, Phillip Rivers. This is simple, man. Phillip Rivers, every year, consistency. Consistency. Phillip Rivers, he does throw a lot of interceptions. The interceptions kill you, but last year finished with 28 touchdowns. I think last year was picked like the 10th round. So you're picking a quarterback in the 10th round and he's giving you 28 touchdowns? Come on now. This year, probably Phillip Rivers is going to go even later, maybe the 11th or 12th round. You're not picking Phillip Rivers as one of the top 8 quarterbacks, but Phillip Rivers this year, I think, can have a better year than he had last year. I could see Phillip Rivers approaching 35 touchdowns this season. And you can get him in the 12th round? Come on, man. If the 12th round comes around and I don't have my quarterback yet and Phillip Rivers is on the board, I'm ecstatic. I'm jumping through the roof. Because Phillip Rivers, he's a great quarterback. And he needs to get more respect. The attorney says, pick Phillip Rivers as your quarterback and reap the benefits and the rewards. Yeah, every time I sip that coffee, you know what time it is. It's time for the interrogation room. Oh, yeah. Well, the interrogation room, you know who's here tonight. You know who's in the interrogation room today. His name's LeBron James, the king, the chosen one. LeBron, step in here, bro. What's going on, buddy? How's everything? Good? Okay, cool. Want a coffee? Some water? All right. All right, LeBron. Congrats on a great season. Made the NBA Finals again for the 8th straight year. No doubt about it. No matter what anybody says, that's a hell of an achievement. No question. You got swept by the Warriors. It was a tough series. Warriors are a great team. Nobody will argue that. But we understand your team had no chance against the Warriors, but you quit, bro. you flat out quit. Everybody's seen it. Everybody watched you quit. You quit after game 1 when JR made his mistake. Everybody knew you were done. You were done, and while you still put up the points and still tried to will your team to a win, your body language wasn't great, and it was obvious that you just gave up on the season and gave up on your team. And as the greatest player in the world, the player that many people consider the greatest player ever, you got to go down fighting, bro. You got to go down swinging. You can't accept defeat like that. You just gotta. And again, this is what it all comes down to too, as the greatest player in the world. Even though it might not be realistic, you just gotta find a way to get it done. You have to find a way to get it done. You have to find a way to win a game at least, because once you win a game, once you get one, look at the Red Sox and look at the Red Sox in 2004. They were down 3-0 to the Yankees, and Kevin Millar famously said before Game 4, "Don't let us win one." And that's what happened. The Red Sox won Game 4. Won the next 3 games, they became the World Series champions. Beat the curse. Broke the curse after being down 3-0. That's what I'm saying, LeBron. Even though you're down 3-0 against an elite team, you can't quit. You got to try to get one. Once you get one, you got to try to get another one. Before you know it, the series is tied 3-3, and you win, and you have a Game 7 where anything can happen. Hence, in 2016, when you guys were down 3-1, and you came back and won. That's why I was so, upset and shocked that you quit just because you were down 3-0. I've seen you, LeBron. I've seen you come back from those type of deficits. I've seen you come back from 3-1 in the NBA Finals. So I was just upset, man. And you can't do that. And now people really don't want to deal with you, bro. People don't like you. You might have really tarnished your legacy. Even as tarnished as your legacy might be from you leaving Cleveland the first time, from all your finals losses, that sweep at the hands of the Warriors and you quitting, that might be what really is the final nail in the coffin for your legacy. But speaking about your legacy, listen, I don't think you should leave Cleveland. I think your legacy and your place in history is solidified. It's set in stone. Either way you look at it, when all is said and done, you're a top 2 player ever of all time. You're either first or second. Many people obviously put Jordan first. Whatever, that's cool, no doubt about it. He's the greatest. He's the greatest. Michael Jordan, I have utmost respect for MJ. But you're no lower than number 2. LeBron. And I think no matter what you do, no matter how many more championships you win or lose, you're not going to go any higher than 2 or any lower than 2. You're firmly entrenched as the number 2 player of all time. So I say this to you to let you know there's no need for you to chase any more rings. There's no need for you to chase Michael Jordan. It's just going to make you look worse to go from Cleveland to Miami, back to Cleveland, and now you start going to LA, you start going to Boston, you start going to San Antonio, you start going to Houston, to Philly. Now you're just taking over the role as a mercenary, a guy that's just, signing one-year deals to try to win championships. And for someone of your stature who's accomplished so much in this league, there's no need for you to do that. What are you proving, and who are you trying to please by doing that? Not yourself, you know that, because you always said you've accomplished way more than you've ever imagined in your life. You always say this. If I retired today, I'd feel 100% content with my NBA career. You're happy with your NBA career, LeBron, as you should be. 3-time NBA champion, 3-time Finals MVP, 4-time league MVP, broken so many records. Not only what you do on the court, but what you do off the court as well. You're a true role model, and you're the true face of the game. You're the ambassador for the NBA, and there's nobody that is more suitable for that role than you. So I say this, LeBron. Stop trying to please everybody else. Please yourself. Stay in Cleveland. Stay where you were born and raised. Stay where your kids go to school. Stay where you have a house. Stay where your mom lives. Stay where you're so entrenched in that community. And just continue to play in Cleveland and try to win championships in Cleveland. If you have to, try to bring some people over to Cleveland to play with you. Try to get a Paul George. Try to get a Kawhi Leonard. Try to get a Kemba Walker. Try to maybe even get a Damian Lillard. The Cavs do have the 8th overall draft pick in Thursday's draft. So it's not the end of the world if you stay in Cleveland, You made the finals for the 8th straight year with a pretty bad team. Now you get 1 or 2 pieces to go with that team. You're still playing at a high level. You're back in the NBA Finals. Now you have a chance against the Warriors or whichever team comes out of the Western Conference. It's not that big of a deal, bro. It's not the end of the world to stay in Cleveland. You can make some things happen by staying in Cleveland. So don't tell me, LeBron, I gotta leave Cleveland because the talent's not there. I gotta go chase more rings. You don't. That's what I'm telling you. The people that are fans of Michael Jordan and not fans of you, no matter what you do, that's not going to change their mind. They're always going to be fans of Michael Jordan. They're always going to put MJ over you, over everybody. They're always going to put MJ at the top, at the cream of the crop. So like I'm telling you, no matter what you do, and it doesn't matter if you go win 4 or 5 or 6 championships and you're tied with Michael Jordan, they're always going to find an excuse on not to put you ahead of Jordan. Oh, he's got 6 now, but he went to 3 different teams in the last 3 years to win 3 more championships. Oh, he went to Miami, and it's just always an excuse, and they're always going to find a reason to knock you. That's why I say, please yourself. Do what's best for you and what you think is best. And I think deep down you don't want to leave Cleveland. You love Cleveland. You love the community. You love the city. And I know that if you leave Cleveland again, it's just going to be you're going to be the villain. There's nobody that's going to like you. You're going to be villainified even more than you were in 2010 when you left Cleveland the first time. It's like Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter. Everybody knows how jealous A-Rod was of Derek Jeter, even before they became teammates. Then they became teammates, and it was just A-Rod just trying to compete with Jeter. I was just reading the book before. It was Joe Torre's book, and he always mentioned how jealous and insecure A-Rod was of Jeter because A-Rod always put up better stats than Jeter. A-Rod was the true baseball player. A lot of home runs, great average, MVP after MVP. Derek Jeter never won a league MVP award. A-Rod won 2 of them with the Yankees, 3 in his career. But it was always the Yankee fans, the Yankees faithful always favored Jeter over A-Rod. It was always Jeter's the guy. He's the captain. He's the guy that gets it done in the clutch. We don't care about his stats. We love him because he's a winner. And it's the same thing with you, LeBron. No matter what you do, no matter how much better your stats are than Michael Jordan, you're never going to be looked at the same way that these people look at Michael Jordan. Again, it doesn't matter if you go win another championship or 2 championships or 3 championships. They'll always come back to Jordan stayed with one team and was 6 for 6 in the NBA Finals. That's what I'm saying. Same thing with Jeter and LeBron. Jeter and A-Rod. A-Rod went to the Bronx with the Yankees, won a world championship. He finally won a world championship with Jeter and the Yankees in 2009. What do they say about A-Rod now? Nah, he's a cheater. He took steroids. A-Rod can never win. When it came to the Yankees fans and Derek Jeter, A-Rod can never win. That's what I'm saying with you, LeBron. When it comes to Michael Jordan and the Michael Jordan fanatics, you can never win. There's nothing you could do. So I feel like I keep rambling, telling you there's nothing you could do because it's true. You're the second greatest player of all time in many people's eyes. To me, I grew up watching LeBron, so I'm going to give you the edge. I'm going to say you're the greatest player of all time, with no disrespect to Michael Jordan. But what it comes down to is your place is set. You're a legend. You've already surpassed so many legends. There's nothing more you could do to become the greatest player of all time. That's what I'm saying to you. Doesn't matter, again, you go and win more championships or 5 more championships. Doesn't matter. You're a 3-time NBA champion. You've done way more than anybody ever thought you would do in your career. Live with that. Be proud of that. Accept that. Stay in Cleveland. Try to get some people to come play for you, with you, and then go from there. Then try to, because I'm telling you, if you stay in Cleveland and win another championship for Cleveland, damn, that's going to get you a lot of respect and a lot of fans. For not leaving but winning another championship, yeah, man. And I know you want to go to LA. That's what they've been saying. Don't go to LA, bro. Because if you go to LA, that's going to tell these people, I don't care about a championship. I care about my image and my brand and my marketing ability. Come on, bro. You could do that stuff when you retire. If you want to go worry about your marketing brand and making movies and, being on billboards, that's cool. Retire. You've earned it. You've done it. You've won your championships. Retire. But if you're still focusing on being a ball player and winning championships and playing the game the right way, stay your ass in Cleveland. You don't need to go to LA. Because LA, it's just temptation. It's just trouble. It's just not going to... Your sole focus in LA wouldn't be on basketball. And that would be a problem for these people that already don't like you. That would just give them more fuel to despise you and villain and look at you as the villain. So with that being said, LeBron, thank you again. I feel like this wasn't really an interrogation room segment because I was really just talking to you. I wasn't really asking you too many questions. But nonetheless, thank you for stepping into the interrogation room. I hope we could do this again soon. Stay in Cleveland. Have a good one, LeBron. Yeah, guys. I mean, like I just told LeBron, it's just, he is who he is. A great player, a legend, one of the GOATs. No doubt about it. But the chasing Jordan nonsense at this point of his career, going into his 16th season, it's pointless. It's useless because first impressions are everything with people. And people already had that first impression of LeBron when he left Cleveland to go to Miami. Ever since then, people don't like him. People don't want to support him. They don't want him to win because it's always Jordan never left. Jordan stayed where he was at and won 6 NBA finals, never losing. It's people, LeBron went to Miami with that talented team, the Big Three, and lost twice in the finals. LeBron lost 3 times to the Warriors. Exactly. You know what I mean? People don't understand. Like, you lose in the finals. That's what you do. It happens. Yeah, Jordan was a different animal. He never lost. 6 for 6, great. What an achievement. But it happens, man. Even the great Warriors who won 73 games and broke that Bulls team, broke their record of wins in the season. They lost in the finals. Like, it happens, man. It's hard to win 6 finals in a row. Mind you, didn't even win 6 in a row. He won 3, took a break, then won 3 more. And nonetheless, winning 3 in a row is tough. My point is, you guys listen to this that are MJ fans and Michael Jordan haters. No matter what I'm telling you right now, your opinion on LeBron's not going to change. He's a cheater. He's a disgrace. He's not Jordan. He's not a great player. That's cool. That's your opinion. My point is LeBron. He's got to know that these opinions are never going to change and stop trying to please these people and, again, please himself. It all comes back to pleasing himself. If LeBron really deep down wants to leave Cleveland for himself because he doesn't want to be in Cleveland anymore, that's cool. No doubt about it. But I think he wants to be in Cleveland. And I doubt he wants to go to LA. And why? What's LA, man? Great weather, great women, but I don't know. I'm just of the mindset LeBron's done enough in this league to not have to chase championships anymore. And I don't think he should. I think he should remain in Cleveland and try to win a few more championships in Cleveland. All right, now it is time for What's the Case on the Base. I got some players for you to add in fantasy baseball. This week, I didn't write down any players that you should drop. I think I might scrap that. I think I'm just going to start telling you players to add. Because you guys are no dummies. I mean, by now you're pretty familiar with fantasy baseball. If you have a player on your team that's not producing and not helping you win or not putting up numbers to help you win, why is he still on your team? Like, you should have dropped him already. You should realize when it's time to drop a player. I don't think I have to be the one to tell you when to drop a player. That's just obvious. That's self-evident. This guy's hitting 210, 3 homers. All right, let me drop him. But by me telling you who to add, that could help you win because these players I'm telling you to add, you might never even heard of them before. You might not even know they're on your waiver wire. So that's why I say, yo, go add this player, go add that player. Then you go see, yo, this guy's on my waiver wire. The attorney told me to add him. Here we go. That's how it works, man. That's all it is. The attorney, he's got your back. All right, number 1, John Hicks from the Detroit Tigers. He's the Detroit Tigers' new first baseman with Miguel Cabrera being out for the season. Now, John Hicks is a catcher by trade. So why I like John Hicks in fantasy is because he has eligibility at 2 positions, catcher and first base. If you're ever in a pinch and you have a first baseman but your catcher goes down, or vice versa, you have a catcher but your first baseman goes down, you got John Hicks who could come in and save the day. But plus, John Hicks is hitting. He's producing. Right now, John Hicks is hitting .301 with 6 homers and 23 RBIs. The kid can hit. Is he Miguel Cabrera? Nobody's Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera is a first ballot Hall of Famer. But if you had Miguel Cabrera and you lost him, you're probably like, oh, no, don't do that. Just go pick up John Hicks. He'll replace Miggy and give you some great production. Number 2, Max Muncy from the Dodgers. He's hit a home run in 4 straight games. He's up to 13 homers on the season. Wow. For somebody that nobody really knows about, 13 homers, it's pretty good, man. 263 average. So it's not just the power he's giving you. He's giving you some support in the batting average category as well. 263 and 13 homers with a homer in 4 straight games. That's pretty solid. Again, if you don't know Max Muncy, now you do. Go pick him up. Number 3, Brian Anderson from the Marlins. He doesn't offer much power, only 4 homers. But if you need consistent hits and an average, somebody's going to boost your batting average, you got to get this guy. This guy's hitting 296, closer to 300. You know, he's been hot lately. He's getting up there to 300. So again, no matter how many home runs somebody hits, if they're hitting 300 in the 300s, even in the mid 290s, that's something you want to have on your team because people keep forgetting. In fantasy baseball, batting average is a category as well. Everybody's always so focused on the home runs and the power. Yeah, it's awesome. You know, a home run counts as a hit, which raises your batting average as well. But, you know, a home run and 4 strikeouts ain't going to help you out much. You know, you want someone that's going to hit the home runs, but also be consistent in terms of getting hits. And Brian Anderson, the home runs, again, aren't there, but he's consistent with his hitting and his batting average. 296. Pretty great, man. Got to take a look at Brian Anderson from the Miami Marlins. 4, Eric Thames. He missed 7 weeks with thumb surgery. He's back, though. And before he went down, he had 89 plate appearances before he got injured. 9 home runs and 89 plate appearances. Power department, Eric Thames is what you need, man. Last year, he did hit 31 home runs as well, so it's not like this year's a fluke. Eric Thames, man, he does offer a low average, though. No question about it. But if you're looking for somebody to supplant you in the power department, Eric Thames might be your guy. Number 5, Anibal Sanchez from the Braves, pitcher from the Braves. 2 runs or fewer in 5 of his last 6 starts. So in 5 of his last 6 starts, he's allowed only 2 runs or less. That's elite. No matter who the pitcher is, that's elite. He's thrown 7 scoreless innings in 2 of his last 3 starts. 3-0 with a 1.93 ERA, 32 strikeouts, and 37 innings. Who is this guy, you might ask? Yeah, Anibal Sanchez, you know, he was injured for a couple years, but now he's finally back with the Braves, and he's pitching like an ace. Will it last? Who knows? But right now, you want to have Anibal Sanchez on your team. Number 6, Josh Harrison from the Pittsburgh Pirates. He has 5 multi-hit games in his last 8 games. So in his last 8 games, he's had at least 2 hits. Pretty good. 297 average. He's recorded an RBI in 3 of his last 4 games. His slugging percentage since May 20th, 473. Josh Harrison, man, this kid's a former All-Star with Pittsburgh. You know, beginning of the season, he demanded a trade. He didn't want to play with the Pirates anymore. The Pirates didn't trade him. They kept him. And now he said, you know what? I'm not getting traded. Now I just got to focus on playing baseball. And Josh Harrison, he's one of the hottest hitters in the whole league, the entire league, over the last month. Go take a look at Josh Harrison. He might help you win your league. That's about it for what's the case on the base. Yeah, I think the jury has decided. You guys got it? Okay, cool. Yep, jury has decided on a verdict. Let's see what it is. Thank you. Okay, oof, it's a tough one. All right, guys, the jury has decided your sentence. Okay. You all have been sentenced to 25 years to life of eating buffalo wings, drinking ice-cold beer, and enjoying sports. This is Sports in Order. I'm the attorney at Sports, and this is my courtroom. The jury's out. Peace.